What's up, guys? This is Zane from Zane Comics, and now I'm here with part 2 of the artist tutorial. So, last tutorial we talked about how to make this image look like this. To remove the blue lines, to remove the pencils, and if you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to go into our website or go into our YouTube account and look for that tutorial. Today, we're going to be talking about how to color our images. Now, there's a real easy way, and then there's a more advanced way, and I'm going to discuss both ways. The easiest way to do this is all you do is you go over here and you create a new layer, and we're just going to bring it down here. Okay, we go back to our original image, and we're going to click on multiply, and then we're going to go back down here, and we're going to call this base layers. And then all you do is, let's say, you just start picking your colors. I guess orange, something like this is skin color. I don't know. And I'm just going to go around here and work on my base. I'm doing this really rough. But you see, I have a point that I'm going to make here in a little bit. So what I would recommend that you do is that whenever you're working on a base color, it doesn't really matter what color you use. Like right now, it doesn't really matter that I have this yellow color. I'm gonna teach you a technique that's gonna save you a lot of time. First of all, I definitely recommend that you use a separate layer for every base color. Okay, so let's say that's. I'm just going to color the whole thing, right? And just real quickly, I don't know why that's bugging me. All right, so we have that. Then that's for our face. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to do something, I don't know, like more like brown. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to make it a little bit. Like I said, it doesn't matter. So I don't know why I'm getting like a reddish color. So that's the hair. And that should be enough to like just discuss why we create this in separate layers. All right. Now there's two reasons why we do this, okay? Now, one of the reasons are, let's say I realize that the skin color is not exactly the way I wanted it. Well, real quickly, you can just go to blending options, and then you can go over here and do a color overlay, and then you can just, if he's a Smurf, you can make it blue, or you can change it to whatever color feels right until you have that right color, okay? Another main reason why we would create them in separate layers is because a lot of times when we think about like hair or when we look at colors, they have highlights. Now, if we were to create a highlight, let's say it's this, but this shade, right? And I go to brush and I'm trying to make some highlights. Well, you know, it'll look okay, but you see how it's like coming out of the scope. So you'd have to be very careful on how you do that, right? But a real quick technique, and I'm just going to delete this layer, is you create a new layer right above the hair layer. Remember to keep it above the layer that you want to, work on. So this is the hair layer. Let's just call it hair layer, whatever. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to call this highlights. And now we're going to go on the right click here and we're going to click on create clipping mask. Now what this is doing is basically restricting my image not to go beyond the colors of the hair. And here's what I mean. So remember how before those colors were going out? So now check this out. I can't go across. I'm going to stay within that that boundary. And real quickly, if you need to change the colors, then you can just color it. Super easy. You see that? And so it's going to help a lot. Do the same thing with the face. You create a new layer, and then you go here, create clipping mask, and we're going to give him some, like, I'm not a really good colorist. I'm just going to show you an example. Now, isn't this interesting that we can't color this image? And I realized why. Because there's an effect on. So we'll remove the effect. And that's how you're able to color it. So we go back here, go this. So it doesn't work when you have some sort of effects on. But and that's how you can, I'm sure you get the idea. And this makes your image more dimensional. But I personally don't encourage you guys to use this method. This is a very simple method that you can, it's a very simple way of coloring, but there's a more advanced technique. And I want to show you what that advanced technique is because there are a lot of benefits to it. So right now, with the filters that we have, so let me delete all this stuff. So right now, with the filter we have of multiply, I'm just gonna make this normal, we still maintain this white background. But I want to do something interesting. I want to be able to color the lines as well. I want to color the lines red. I don't want them to be black. I want, let's say this is glass, so I want this line to be blue. So the way to do that is essentially, we're going to do the same thing as we did with the clipping mask, to where we restrict the colors to those to the black lines. And this is how we do this. So we're going to go here, and essentially we're trying to remove the white. So we go to the background, and we go to channels. And as everything is selected on the channels, we're going to go over here and click on this little dotted, I guess it's a square, circle. And once we have that selected, go back to your layer section. While you have that layer selected, hit delete. And boom. The entire background image is gone. You can do, and then you can do Control D to deselect everything. Or you can go here, select, deselect layers. All right, so now we're going to create a new layer, bring it down here. And, first color I'm going to do is I'm going to make it white. All right, so that it looks back to the way it was. And then I'm going to create another layer. And just real quickly, I'm just going to go ahead and color. So make a quick colors. All right, so we color the hair in this. We color the hair in this color. All right, now this is how we're going to change the colors for the lines. We go back to the original image, which is this layer right here. Select a new layer on top. Make sure it's on top, and we're going to do create clipping mask, like what we did earlier. Now it's basically restricting the black lines because that's what we are telling it to do. And now let's say I go over here and I want to make this like a maroon color. And I go back to the paintbrush tool, and now watch this. Which is kind of hard to tell because, that maroon just looks dark black. But let's say we go over here and we select this bluish color for the glasses. See that? So that's basically how you do it. You can really enhance your images by doing that. A lot of times when you look at some of the cartoon images, their outlines are not black. They're typically it's like a little bit of a darker color than than the rest of the images. Or sorry, it's a little bit of a darker color of the same main background color. And that's basically how you do it. It's a lot of fun to play with. You know, I definitely encourage you to look more into it. And so that's basically how you change the colors of the lines. I hope this was beneficial for you. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. And until our next tutorial, my name is Zane, and please subscribe and share this video. Thank you very much. See you next time.